and welcome to today's YouTube episode. On today's sewing adventure, I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this dress. This is the Robertswood Patchwork Bow Dress, so let's get started. Now, I made this dress to wear to the new craft house party at the weekend. And I wanted to make this dress ever since I saw it, and I thought that that would be the perfect occasion to wear this dress to. So I have made an episode about how I made the toile to get the fitting on this dress correct. And then I also, before I went to the party, I filmed the clip that you're about to watch. But I didn't realise before I went to the party that I was actually going to win the prize for the best dress. So this was the dress that I wore. I'm really proud of it. I really love it. I'm super impressed with how it turned out. I just thought I'd change the beginning slightly so you had a bit of context to my thumbnail and my title for this clip. But yeah, so the clip you're about to see is the process of how I made the final dress. So some of you might be wondering how I won a prize for this dress. So at the new craft house parties, they do have a competition for the best dress. And what you do is you enter yourself in and everyone stands around in a circle, and then when their name is called, they go into the circle and they share the dress that they have made with the other people at the party. It's really lovely, really supportive, and a really fantastic thing to be part of. So I obviously did that, and then I ended up winning for this dress. So I was really shocked, to be honest, and really happy as well. And the prize that I won was actually a PFAFF Overlocker. So I haven't got that one yet, but when I do get it, I will show you, and that's really exciting. It was such a wonderful prize and such a wonderful surprise as well. One other thing I wore with this dress when I went to the party was this bag. So this is it's based on the Fennel Fanny Pack bag by Sarah Kirsten Designs, and it is basically made from one of the tablecloths that is in my dress as well. I think there's a piece of it there, so you can see that is the tablecloth, and this is it made up as the bag. So yeah, so just to clear that up for you, that's how that all happened, and also the bag that I was wearing. Oh, I've still got stuff in there. It looks like that. So for this episode, I am actually going to take you through as much of the process as I can. So I'm actually going to take you fabric shopping with me to see how I source some of my embroidered fabrics. I'm going to be showing you how I fabric dye some of the fabrics, and I'm going to be showing you how I sew certain sections of the dress as well. So I hope that you're interested in seeing that. I'm really excited to share it with you. So let's make a start. A little bit about what I'm wearing today. Today I'm wearing the Tilly and the Buttons Cleo dungaree dress. This one is made from a black corduroy fabric, and it has got this patchwork that I bought on eBay. It's just a sew-on little embroidered patch, so that's what I'm wearing there. And then this one is the True by Sneeko top, and it is made in a grey pointille fabric. So for today's sewing adventure, I'm actually going to start by taking you fabric shopping with me to a shop called Mabel's Five and Dime in southeast London. So today I'm taking Patsy for a walk, and we're going to visit Mabel's Five and Dime during our walk today. So we're really looking forward to seeing all those lovely embroidered tablecloths, aren't we, Patsy? And we've got a really lovely plan for them. So we're hoping we get some good ones, and we will film some of the walk, hopefully on the way as well. So here you can see that I am looking at the lovely section of embroidered tablecloths, and I'm choosing them. And then what I decided to do is actually do an overview of the whole store from the outside. Mabel's Five and Dime have an excellent selection of things even outside before you go into the shop, which is amazing. And then I decided that I would film the inside as well. So you can see it's just absolutely stunning.
There are loads of vintage clothes. There's lots of vintage furniture. There's like storage things. Obviously you can see there's some art. And this is the best section. Obviously this is where the fabrics are kept. So yeah, it's amazing. There's homewares. There's loads and loads of books you can see. More furniture. So it really is just a beautiful shop to go to. And the amazing thing is that you never know what you're going to find, because it's all things that are found and they're all one-off. So you can see there's like costume jewelry. It's really, really beautiful. And then this section, you can see the amazing handbags hanging up there, and some more kind of homewares like crockery and things like that, filing cabinets. So it's just a really lovely shop to go to and to see. And then they've got a really gorgeous outdoor area where they sell like gardening things too.
So we're back from our walk now, and we're back from our trip to Mabel's Five and Dime. So I thought you might be interested in seeing what I bought today. So in my lap here, I've got all the things that I bought for the dress that I'm planning on making. So the first thing that I bought was this tablecloth. Now this is, of course, it's made from gorgeous linen fabric. It's got this amazing pink and green and a little bit of yellow on it. But you will see that there is quite a full-on stain here. So I won't be using that part of the tablecloth, but it's actually quite big. There is so much that I can use, so I won't be wasting too much of that one. So that is absolutely gorgeous one that will definitely make up part of the dress that I'm planning. So the next thing that I bought is this tablecloth here. And you will see that the pattern of it is more of kind of like a cross stitch pattern, the embroidery. So I do really love this one. I really like the blue and white contrast. As you can see, there's quite a lot of stains, but that's fine because we don't need to use them. I'm not entirely sure that I will use this one in the dress, because the dress, I feel like with what I've already got and the ones that I've bought today, it's kind of more of like a pink and purple and yellow theme. So I might be able to use parts of this one. Also, the ones that I've got so far, they don't use the cross stitch pattern, so I'm not quite sure how that will match in. I might use it if I need to, like if I don't have enough of the other fabrics, but I'll see how I go. I do really love this one, and I'm sure I will find a use for it one way or another. I also think that this is really fun, this kind of tassel feature on the edge of it as well. So I might be able to use that in something as well. So I love this one. Not sure if I'll use it in the final dress, but it is what I bought today, and it is particularly lovely. So the last thing that I'm going to show you from what I bought today is actually two things, like a set, and it's really, really exciting. It is two bed sheets that have got these lovely panels of embroidery at the top. So this one has this lovely embroidery pattern at the top, and then this sheet has got it's the same pattern, but it's a slightly different colorway. So these are actually bed sheets. I'll show you this one. I don't even know if I can get the whole thing in the camera frame. It is a single bed sheet size, so it's absolutely fantastic, and there's so much fabric there that I will be able to use for my dress. So that is brilliant. Now what I'm going to do is that these two sheets, because there's two of them, are going to be the base white fabric. Remember, I'm going to have 3 different fabrics for this patchwork dress. I'm going to have the embroidery, I'm going to have the white fabric, and then I'm going to fabric dye one of these sheets. I'm going to chop the embroidery panel off first, and then I'm going to dye one of these sheets pink. So that will be my third colour. So embroidery, white and pink. So it was an absolutely brilliant find for me to get these, because obviously it means that I have completely enough fabric to make the dress. So I'm really, really happy about that. So a very successful shopping trip to Mabel's Five and Dime today. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. Now the next part in this process will be showing you how I dye the fabrics. So I hope you want to see that, because that's what I'm going to show you next. And after that, then I'll get to actually making the dress. So lots of prep actually going into this one in terms of sourcing the fabrics and then obviously dyeing one of these sheets as well. Okay, so I'm getting ready to dye the fabric. The fabric has just been washed, so it's damp. You can see here I've got some salts, which I'm going to put in the bucket, which is down here. That's got 6 litres of warm water in it. I'm going to put the salt in that in a minute and dissolve it. Then I have got this dye sachet, and I've got 500 millilitres of warm water here. So I'm going to dissolve the dye sachet in this smaller amount of water. I'm going to put the salt into the bucket and dissolve that, and then once the dye sachet is fully dissolved, then I will tip that into the bucket below. Okay, so now the salt is in the bucket. I've just been using my glove to kind of stir that in. It says to use a glove to stir the dye in. The dye is this amazing pink colour, so that's looking great. I'm going to see if I can really dissolve that in, because in the past I haven't quite managed to do that when I've done dyeing using these fabric sachets. So I'm going to see if I can really get that dissolved nicely before I add it into the bucket. So you can see that there's a few little bits that need to be dissolved. I'm just doing it really gently so it doesn't spill onto the bench or onto the tablecloth. So I think I'm almost ready to put this one into the bucket. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in the bucket and I'm going to show you what it looks like as I do it. So here goes nothing. And now the fabric dye is in the bucket. Now the next instruction is to put the fabric in. So I'm going to put on my rubber glove and I'm going to show you putting the fabric in. Remember, I have just put this fabric on a quick wash, so it is damp. It's just been spun out. It's definitely not dry. Okay, so I'm going to put the fabric in now to the bucket. There's quite a lot of it. There is actually 600 grams of fabric, and these sachets are only supposed to dye to 250 grams. So I know that the colour won't come out like really super dark, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stir through the dye, make sure it's really even for the next 15 minutes. That's in the instructions with the glove. And then it needs to stay in this bucket soaking for the next 45 minutes after that. So a total of an hour. So I'm going to crack on just stirring this in for the next 15 minutes, nice and gently. And then hopefully I'll be able to show you what it looks like after it's been soaking for a while. And I have brought it outside now just because I don't want it inside. I don't want Patsy to drink it or anything like that. I think it's looking really good. It will stay out here for the next 45 minutes and I'll come and stir it every now and then. I thought you might like to see our lovely cherry blossoms as well. Okay, now I have tipped it out in the bath. It looks like a really lovely colour. I think it will go a little bit lighter when it dries, which I think will be kind of the colour that I was going for. I know that I said that each sachet only dyes 250 grams of fabric. Before this one was wet, it was actually 600, and I was quite happy with that because I didn't want it to be full strength. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to spend some time just rinsing this through with cold water. That's what the instructions say. And then I'm going to put it on another quick wash in the washing machine and then hang it out to dry. So as you can see, quite a lot has happened since I dyed the fabric, and I have actually completed the first 3 rows of this dress, of the bodice. So I'm super pleased with how it's looking. I'm really happy with the colour of that pink. I was a bit kind of not sure at first, but I'm really happy with the way it looks. This is the back. Now this does actually fit me, so that's not a problem. I have obviously put that around myself and that's fine. And I found a zip in my stash that I can pop in there as well. So this is where I'm up to. This was the result of the fabric dye. Obviously, you can see it's here already, but this was the result. I love this colour, so really happy with that. And that was just one of the sheets that I bought from Mabel's Five and Dime. And what I've got here to show you is this, which is the next few rows of the dress. So they're all cut ready to go. I just have to get them together and attach them to this part, which I've done so far. So for those of you who are interested, the t-shirt that I'm wearing today is the Rusker t-shirt from Named Clothing, and it is in this Tilly and the Buttons jersey fabric, which I got maybe 2-3 years ago when it came out. So that is what I am wearing today. So just giving you an idea of what row 4 looks like before I stitch it. Obviously this piece here and this piece at the end here are the centre back pieces, so these pieces will wrap right around my front. So I'm going to sew them. I'm going to film a little bit of the process of me sewing them because I haven't done that yet, and then I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so now I have finished that whole row 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlock these seams, each and every one of them, and then I'm going to attach it to the rest of the body that I've done so far, and I'll show you how I do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach the 4th panel to the main body. Now when I do this, I do pin it quite carefully because I want to make sure that these lines match up evenly, and so far they've been matching up actually pretty well. I'm very pleased with them. So I'll show you how I do that and how I get them to match up nicely. And I love the way that you can start to see that lovely bow pattern forming. Yeah, so I'm going to pin the row on and then I'm going to show you what I've done once I've done it. So obviously the seam allowance going across on the horizontal line is 1 centimetre. So what I do is I put the 2 fabrics together and then I just kind of fold back 1 centimetre and think, yep, that's going to match up, and then I put a pin in it. So that's how I'm actually matching these seams as I'm going along. And so far it's going well, they are matching up nicely. I also make sure that I start in the centre at the front and then work my way around to the back. But that is basically what I'm doing. Putting the 2 bits of fabric together, folding it back, looking at the fact that it's going to meet, and then pinning it. Okay, so that one is now fully pinned all the way down. I have put a pin where every seam intersects. So I'm going to sew down that seam now and let you know how I get on. So on the whole, that has actually gone really well. I'm really pleased with how that has worked out. You can see that those corners have intersected really nicely all the way along. So my job now is to iron those seams flat and think about doing row number 5. Really pleased with that actually. As you can now see, I'm up to here. I'm really pleased with how those rows have gone in, the way that they've lined up, and I've got to attach row 5 and 6 and then I can put the zip in. That is when the zip becomes inserted. So that's what the back looks like. Remember, it does fit, even though I think I'm slightly smaller than the measurements of this dressmaking dummy, but yeah, it does fit, so that's the main thing. So I'm going to crack on with rows 5 and 6 and then pop the zip in. And now I am up to here, so I have done the first 6 rows. This is where they suggest that you put the zip in. So what I did was I quickly basted the zip in. It is not perfect again. I did it as quickly as I could, just so that I could check that everything was okay. And it does fit really nicely. I'm pleased with the fit, which is great. I do need to press it, so I'll get onto that soon. The next jobs I have to do is to make the straps and then attach the facing here, put the zip in properly, and then I need to do the next layers after this. But super pleased with how it's turning out, super happy with the fit, and yeah, it's going really well. So here it is, the dress is finished. I'll come in a bit closer so you can see. I've attached that facing all the way around. You can see the back. I finally got the zip in straight, so I can do an invisible zip, so I'm pleased with that. I will take a step back so you can see the length of it. It is this long, and if I do a twirl, you should be able to see how it moves. It moves really nicely. It's got a lovely twirl to it. So basically that's it, it's finished. I'll put a couple of pictures in for you to see, and yeah, thank you for watching the process. I hope you enjoyed that one today. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments box below what you thought of the process of making the dress, and I would love to hear from you. I love hearing what you have to say. If you have already subscribed, then thank you so much. I appreciate having you here. It's wonderful to have you here. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I would really appreciate if you could do so. Also, if you could like this clip, I would really appreciate that as well. Let me know what you think in the comments box below about anything that you saw in the clip today. But that is it for today's episode. I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I'll see you here again soon.